welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here, and a series of unfortunate events has befallen this series as Israel in Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn Modern Day Mod. As you can see, a lot has changed since the last episode. I have now conquered Iran. I actually played through that episode. I recorded it. I uploaded it. Some of you may have watched it and realized that my commentary was not present. And that, unfortunately, for some reason, did not record as it should. So I've been trying to replay that episode. I went back to the previous save, tried to play through that part again where I invaded Iran, and for some reason there's a glitch now in the game, which I've experienced before with this mod, and it keeps crashing as soon as it gets to the point where the European Union forms one state, which has happened, as you can see, with the exception of Sweden, Norway, UK, Denmark, Switzerland, and the former Yugoslavian states, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Albania, Macedonia. Everybody else is part of the European Union. Well, in my new save, or in that old save, as I've been trying to replay it, it keeps crashing at that point. And as you can see, there's some kind of a glitch here that's happened now, and I've experienced this before, as I said, with this mod. I've got some territory that belonged to Saudi Arabia that for some reason is now showing up as mine. A couple of months ago, I had done a playthrough as Israel in the modern day mod. I had started in the year 2000 with that one. And after one of my saves, when I went back to try and replay, it had actually given me parts of North Korea as part of my country and some other really strange places. So similar thing has happened here. I don't know if this is going to keep crashing on me or not, but after playing 3 times and having it crash that same place, I've decided just to go ahead and skip ahead to where I last saved, and we'll see how the game goes. You can see my capital of Tel Aviv is now over here, rather than Jerusalem over here. It looks like Palestine's got part of their country back. So a lot of little weird things have happened here that I can't really do anything about. So we've conquered Iran. My goal now is just to build up the infrastructure of my country. I'm not going to focus on expansion anymore. As you can see, I've got a nice little nation carved out for myself. I've got lots of production now. I've got 4 nuclear weapons. I've got 1.24 million in manpower. So I've got plenty of everything. I'm going to focus on my relationships with other countries. And also, you can see the world tension up here in the top right is at 83%. Well, because I have had to skip ahead and so you don't get to see what happened in between, you won't hear the fact that I mentioned that this is happening. The People's Republic of China, the largest nation on earth in terms of manpower, is justifying a war against India, the second largest nation on earth in terms of number of people. So fully 1/3 of the world's population is about to be at war with each other. As China declares a war on India, we assume that's going to happen. That's crazy huge, and I am really, really close to that. Only Pakistan stands between me and China and India right now. So got to keep a close eye on that. I'm very nervous about what that could mean for my country because I could get gobbled up really quickly by either one of them. So just got to be cautious of that. We've got unfulfilled import requests, but it looks like everything's okay here. So hopefully we'll be able to play through this without any more glitches. But, you know, no promises on that, unfortunately. So we'll just keep playing as long as we can. I want to work on better fighters. I want to have a good Air Force moving forward if I can. Just taking a look here, it looks like I've got some divisions that are about to be able to get into the field. Waiting on some main battle tanks and a few mechanized to get those finished off. Building a lot of fighters. I can probably slow down on that. I don't think I need quite that many. 5 new fighters a week is actually still pretty substantial. We'll go down to maybe 3 a week. Alright, so let's take a look. Obviously, the needs have changed. We're going to trade for some more steel from the European Union here. We'll trade for a little bit from the U.S. We got to slow down on some of these other things just because I don't have the factories available for all of them. I'm not getting what I need from Russia. Sorry, Russia. You're not giving me what I need, so I'm going to get it from somewhere else. However, I don't need that much. Let's slow down a little bit here for a second and just kind of sort this all out. Alright, I think we're good now. We do have up... Oh, we get to build new fighters. Alright. The Generation 4.5 multi-role fighter. Alright, we got a research slot available here. Let's continue to upgrade. We're actually going to go to the next fighter, Generation 5. So we probably don't need to focus too much on building those Generation 4.5s because we're not going to be using those for very long before we get into the next round of upgrades. Alright, let's look at trade for a second. Okay, we're good on everything. Not entirely sure when this war justification is going to be over for China and India. It looks like March of 2022 is when it's all going to go downhill, and we may see World War III on our hands. Just looking at production here. We'll go ahead and get these new lines into the field. And for now, I'm just assigning everything to one army and just having them garrison those units so they're kind of spread out throughout my nation. So, as I said, we're going to start working on improving relations with some of the major powers in the world. Russia, the EU. I've got plenty of power for that. Let's work on our relationship with China and India while we're at it, and the United States. So that's a lot of political power that I'm spending. I could actually join the faction with the United States, which would be NATO. So I can actually join NATO, but I don't know that I want to join NATO. What's going on here? So West Virginia is apparently now a colony state. And it's also called Tel Aviv. All right, so that's just some of the little glitches that are happening with this mod. And as I said, I've seen that before. Sharia patrols in one of our major urban areas. Islamic conservatives and fundamentalists have come to complain about a moral decay of our society. Women not covering up properly, people drinking alcohol in the streets, and an increasing frequency of marriages between Muslims and non-Muslims have caused a reactionary response from an angry mob. I have to remember now, I'm a nation that's a Jewish nation, but primarily a Muslim nation at this point because of all the places I've conquered. But we're going to spend the political power to crack down on that. I want to be a modern Islamic state, like Jordan, for example. All right, things seem to be stable. It doesn't seem to be crashing on me as it did with the other one. So that's good. Let's just take a look here at my research. Another national focus completed. I want to wait until this war breaks out between, potentially this war breaks out between China and India before I go down the route of claiming Jordan or the Sinai. Because I know that's going to really upset kind of the world order here, and I don't want to necessarily do that just yet. Of course, I can also focus on political things, and I could eventually go down the route of scientific utopia, which will give me yet another research slot, it looks like. Oh no, it just gives me a 25% bonus on research time. but hurts my recruitable population. So a lot of different choices I could make there. I could become a Jewish state. So I just have to kind of think about what I want to do here, but I am going to go ahead and go down the route of doing some domestic focus because it doesn't take very long. Doing a lot of focus right now on upgrading my military, getting it all caught up to modern times. I'm still largely operating with a military that's kind of circa 2006 or so, if not earlier. So it looks like Armenia is justifying a war goal against Azerbaijan. That's up here, right on our northern border. We could see a little war happening between these two small nations. Go to advanced artillery. We're going to get modern hardware here soon, which is going to give me a boost to my research time. And we're about just a couple of weeks away from domestic focus, and then we can decide where we want to go with that domestic focus. All right, so we need to have at least a better opinion of from the UK or Russia or somebody here to be able to get one of these light aircraft designers going. I guess we need to work on our relationship with the UK. We need to get their opinion of us up a little bit. That way I can get that technology to... let me go back and talk about what I mean here. Aircraft designer. If I... this one here. All right, we've got it. So, Bay, yeah. So this will improve my research time. It'll improve the performance of my fighters. So there we have it. Okay, new administration law. Let's just kind of look and see what the choices are. Political power, stability. I got plenty of political power. We'll go that route. All right, lots of things happening here. We'll improve our encryption. All right, so we're going to go political focus, I think. Actually, no, this is good here. We can start making some of these areas core settlements. I think that'll be helpful. Like I said, I want to focus on internal a little bit, so why not go the route of internal policy so I can start improving things. What are we doing construction-wise? Looks like some steel factories, some civilian factories, another nuclear reactor. We're going to have to repair some infrastructure, and then we're going to be swapping some military over to civilian factories. So it's all a internal focus right now. We have 4 nukes, working on a 5th. Right now I'm able to make about 2 nuclear weapons per year. All right, Morocco. Well, okay, I didn't even see that one coming. Morocco goes to war on the West Sahara. So, what's going on here? That's Madagascar. I want Morocco up here. So, Morocco goes to war on West Sahara right here. So, looks like they just want to expand their territory, and it's going to take them all of about 5 seconds to do that. It looks like are they at war with Algeria too? Weather, sandstorm. I love it. Yeah, okay, so it looks like this war is more than just them. Current wars, yep. So Algeria and West Sahara are at war against Morocco. Interesting. Morocco's about to get a whole lot bigger, folks. And just looking ahead here. All right, there it is. So they annexed West Sahara. They did not annex everything from Algeria. Does look like they took some land. Oh no, okay. They're still at war with Algeria. That just ended the war with West Sahara. Looking ahead here at the other potential wars that are coming down the pike. Armenia, I want to see when's that one going to happen. Also March. So March of this year is going to be crazy as far as the wars that are going to bust out. Okay, so we're going to go with the settlements. Here's the nice thing. It looks like there's no like choice between the two. You can do both, but then you have to choose down here. So if you're not familiar with the game, anytime you see this right here, it means that once you choose one, you cannot choose the other one. All right, so we're about 2 months away from all hell breaking loose in the world as the two most populous nations on Earth potentially go to war with each other. Okay. Beijing was to become the first city to host both the Summer and Winter Games after hosting the Summer Games of 2008 and now the Winter Games of 2022. China, as expected, did well, even though the nature of the Winter Games took some of their usually dominated summer sports away from them. So, China hosts all the games right before they go to war. Interesting. So we'll probably take this right up to where that starts, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to create some new units here just to get them into the field. Alright, we're going to be upgrading our artillery yet again here in about a week. And then the settlements will be happening here. Just looking down that way, we're going to be adding Negev and Evera as core states. Then we're eventually going to be able to add some manpower. Not that we necessarily need it right now. But there are some things to be done internally that help me here. And then eventually we'll have to make a choice over here on the ultra-Orthodox side, but we'll worry about that when it comes time. Alright, I want to look at industry for just a minute. I think we're getting pretty far advanced on that. How about armor? Yeah, we're all the way up to the present on armor as well. Not mechanized, though, so let's upgrade our mechanized units. I'm about to get another advance in air power. 2 of them, in fact. So we're slowly but surely modernizing the Air Force. Modernizing the military wherever possible. We're going to upgrade our unmanned aerial vehicles, our drones. Upgrade to Generation 4 attack planes. Not going to be making many of those, at least not for now. Alright, we're going to be up to 2016 on this. It's only going to take 33 days to go to the next, to the F-35s. So we'll only produce a few of these Generation 5 multi-rolls and we'll immediately be on to the next generation. Let's look at trade for a second while we wait for the wars that are about to break out. Everything's where it needs to be. All right. All right, well, here it comes. I would imagine India's not going to be able to stand up to China in a war. But we'll see if anybody else jumps in on their side. Just completed another land doctrine. So let's pause for just a second while we deal with that. All right, looking at India. They're guaranteeing some nations, but they don't have any allies or anybody guaranteeing them. So March 30th, 2 weeks away. Could it be the start of World War III? By the way, my breakfast drink of choice lately has been this Mountain Dew spiked lemonade. Really, really good. I definitely recommend it if you're into that sort of drink. Alright, looks like Algeria and Morocco have settled their differences, and Morocco did not take territory from Algeria. We are now 3 days away from what could potentially be one of the largest wars between two countries the world has ever seen. Let's see what happens. Here we go. All right. Okay, so first we're seeing Armenia declaring war on Azerbaijan up here in our north. It looks like China completed their justification but has not yet declared that war. So they have the war goals. They're not using them. So that's actually not a bad thing. Let's see what happens between Armenia and Azerbaijan up here. I won't necessarily know. There's our F-35s. Modern Gen 5 multi-role fighters. Excellent. Let's go up to the Gen 5 bomber now. So, rapidly upgrading our military, especially the Air Force right now. Alright, so there's the settlements. Got some unassigned divisions in the field. We're going to fully integrate the Negev, which is going to give me some cores in some of those nations, or some of those territories. That'll be helpful. Let's look at construction. We're working on a couple military factories, then a nuclear reactor, and then a chromium factory in Kurdistan. So we're up to 45 divisions now. Still a pretty tiny army by comparison against other world powers. But all right, Armenia appears to have the upper hand against Azerbaijan. But we'll see how that turns out. So we'll go ahead and go here to the end of April and then wrap this one up. Thankfully, no war as of yet between China and India. Not entirely sure why China did the justification against India if they weren't planning to use it. Yeah, it looks like Armenia is about to win this one. Maybe we'll let that play out until we finish here. Interesting. They've conquered almost all the territory, but it's only at 38%, probably because they have to conquer the big ones here. All right, we need some aluminum or as you say over there, my friends in the UK, aluminium. World tension's coming down. Only 53% of it is generated by my nation now. Well, if no war is going to break out there, maybe it's time to go ahead and start putting in my claims on these other places. So once we fully integrate the Negev, we may go ahead and put in a claim on the Sinai and end up going to war against Egypt. We'll spread our tentacles into Africa for the first time. Okay. Azerbaijan was puppeted, so they still exist as a nation, but now they are a puppet of Armenia. Interesting choice there. Alright, now we can upgrade our our mechanized to modern Gen 2 mechanized. And wow, we need 15,600 of them to fully upgrade. That's interesting. Same thing with these attack planes. We need to upgrade some of those. So let's go ahead and select a technology to research. Light tanks. I don't know how many of those we even have, but I think everything's good there. Now we just need to look at resource production. All right. We need some tungsten. All right, so we're going to wrap it up right there. It's May of 2022. A lot happened in that episode. Again, my apologies for the fact that it glitched out and wouldn't let me go back and replay the episode where you could see me conquering Iran. But that's where we are now. And we will continue to move forward and be thinking about the next expansion points. At some point, long-term goals, I'm thinking, of course, we will go ahead and integrate the rest of the Arabian Peninsula. It just seems like a natural place to go. We'll spread into Africa by taking Egypt. I don't think I want any part of Afghanistan whatsoever. And of course, Pakistan's a nuclear power, so I got to be really cautious with them. But there you have it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to use the comment section below for that. And I'll try to respond as quickly as I can. And then, of course, if you would hit that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll be back in the next couple of days with another episode. Thanks for watching.